Hi everyone, long time no see. I hope you've all been doing very well. I have been doing excellently. I hadn't been knitting much for a while because of the Christmas rush, so I've been kind of taking a break from making videos and doing all of that and focusing on some of my other crafts and school, primarily school, because I'm, again, teaching like a college level course this year for the first time, so I've been kind of busy, but I decided that I should make a video today because the sun is out. It's out somewhat. I mean, as much as we get in Minnesota in winter. We made the top of the worst winters list this year, which was it was really not shocking to anyone here, but a little bragging rights for complaining. But I have finished some things that I wanted to share with you guys and to kind of get the word out about this project, just in case anyone can get some stuff done for it by the end of it. So I'll explain that in a minute. But first things first, the first thing I'm going to show you is this hat that I knit. I knit this literally while sitting at a craft show in December. So I'll just try it on so you can see it on. But it's just a very chunky, bulky knit with a button tab. Guess maybe I'll turn a little bit more to the side. But this is it. I just took a super bulky white yarn and a black, I think worsted weight tweed, and then knit them together. I'm really into really chunky knit projects right now. I think just because they're fast and it's cold here. So there's that. That is, I don't know. I want to give it to a friend or something, or hold on to it for a while until I find the right person, I guess. Second thing is I'm actually wearing it, is a cowl that I knit. It's like a drop stitch cowl out of this really pretty yarn. I have been toying with the idea though, honestly, of I want it to sit up a little closer to my neck, and because of these drop stitches rows, kind of sits down more than I would like. So I think I've been considering like ripping out the bottom row, and then with the second skein that I have of this, continuing on a couple more times so that when it sits down a little bit it will still stay up closer to my neck. But I think that the colors on this are just really beautiful to me. Not really, I wouldn't consider myself a neutral color person all the time, as I'm wearing both neutral colors, but I don't know, I like color, especially compared to my sister-in-law. She's definitely a neutral color person, and my husband is a neutral color person, but I don't know, there's just something about this one that really struck me, and I think it's really pretty, and I like it. The yarn was so expensive, but it's really nice yarn. I got it at a knit store, or a yarn store in, I think, I want to say near Maple Grove. It's a place that I hadn't been before, and it's called something like 1,000 Threads, and it just has yarn galore. All of them are totally beautiful, but I decided to splurge and get some really expensive. I think it was $22 a skein, and I got 2 of them. I don't know. If I add on to that, maybe I could still get a hat or a headband out of it or something. But that is not going to anyone but me. I'm very selfish, unlike normal. I don't normally keep things that I make. But the second thing, which I guess is going to be kind of the primary focus of this video, is there's this project going on right now. And again, I try not to get too political on my podcast stuff, but a lot of women are feeling a little bit upset with how the past election went. And there's going to be a women's march in Washington, D.C. on Inauguration Day, which is January 21st. And I can't be there because I don't live anywhere close to D.C. and I cannot afford to go out there. And plus I just don't have the vacation time to do that. But they're taking knit and crocheting and sewn hats for the women that are going to be doing this march, because A, it's going to be cold, but also it's kind of like a uniting visual for the people that are going to be present for that. So the hat project is called the Pussy Hat Project, and I realize, like, it's definitely a little tongue-in-cheek, and it's not something that I would usually say, but as we know, a certain candidate has said things that just aren't portraying women in the best light. Again, not even saying that, you know, the other candidate was just this holy saint. So I'm not even going there, but they're looking for donations for hats for this. And the whole idea is that the hat looks like a cat ears. So it's so easy to make, you guys. I mean, the pattern, this is knit, this first one I'm going to show you is knit exactly as the pattern is written, but just with super bulky yarn because I'm trying to get them done as fast as possible. So I just modified it in terms of the stitch count, but you knit it essentially as a long rectangle and then just seam the sides. I just stitched a little bit here so the ears were a little bit more defined, but this is what it looks like on. It looks just like a little cat hat. Again, not something I would usually wear, but, you know, they're looking for donations, so I thought I could help them out. So that was my first one. I knit it as the pattern recommended. But as you can see, for some reason, when I knit things flat now, I don't do it often at all. And when I do, my stitches are just super uneven between my knits and my purl rows. So you know, it's to a point where I'm okay with donating it, but I don't love it. And then the stitches on the sides of the seams are just uneven, and I wasn't doing a very good, I don't know, I just hated it. It's good enough that I'll donate it, but not perfect. So this was my second attempt with the same yarn, knitting in the round. And as you can see, the stitches are much more even than that. So I was happy about that. And I left some project notes about how many I cast on. So if you're interested in doing this project and donating them, they need the hats by the 14th, like in person at the store or at the location that you ship them to, because they need to make sure they have a kind of head count on the hats. So please, if you're considering doing this, do this quickly and get a cup. Even one would be helpful. And you don't have to be a woman to knit it. So anyone is welcome. Some people have specifically learned to knit just to participate in this. If you're a sewer, they will take sewn hats that are, you know, basically a fleece square like this would be a super easy hat to sew. But so then I made this one, which I just took, I have some random amount of fingering weight left that I just stranded with super bulky. And then I did this one, which is a crocheted hat. Just trying to make them all look a little different. This one came out super tight. And so this is probably going to have to be for a kid. Because it is really tight on my head. Of course, I do have a big head for a lady. But I don't know. So maybe someone with a small head. But it is super warm. So whoever gets this one, it's like a 3-stranded crocheted hat with just some scraps that I had. The multicolored running through here is a hand-dyed yarn that my friend had made for me, but I just had a weird amount left of. I didn't have enough to make anything else really. And then I had some Encore, and then some like pink wool that my aunt had given me. I don't wear pink super often, so I hadn't used it yet. So I thought, well, what a perfect project. Because, ooh, my hair's crazy. My aunt's actually going to be marching at the Minneapolis protest, which I'm going to be going with her. So I won't be at the one in DC, but I'll be at the one in Minnesota. And so I have to make some more for us. But that leads me into what I'm currently working on. I have a couple, sorry, I'm just kind of adjusting these things. I have a couple of these projects going at once. So I'm going to ship these on the 12th and do a 2-day shipping. So that they'll get there by the 14th. But then with the days between then and the March, I'll knit the hats that I'm going to wear and my cousin and my aunt are going to wear and my friend. So this is one that I've cast on. I'm knitting this on 15s this time with a super bulky and a worsted, or like it's kind of a DK worsted depending on, you know, what your interpretation of a worsted is. And it changes color to a more pinky and purpley, so it'll just kind of be changing color throughout the hat. Just again, to make them all a little different. I want every hat that I knit to be unique in some way. I mean, the first two, of course, are not, but that's just because I'm kind of working out the kinks. But plus, some people, you know, just probably want just a plain hat and don't want an added color, so I'll just be kind of doing different things, but I bought a bunch of this Hometown USA yarn in just slightly different shades of pink, because that's, you know, they really don't have a requirement for what kind of pink. I mean, any yarn that you have that's pink. I've seen hats that are pink and white, and I've seen hats that have colors other than pink with the pink. I mean, it's really, it's open to whatever. But so I'm knitting another one like that. I also have in my cute new project bag from my Secret Santa swap partner. Thank you. I love it. I loved Pokemon as a kid, and it's a Christmas Pokemon bag with trees in the middle. I just think it's so cute. I'm making this one for myself, and I selfishly am using my really pretty, it's a very thick and thin yarn. So you can see it kind of changes size quite a bit. But it's, I don't know, this is how far I am so far. So not too far, but I've put it aside just temporarily. I don't want to stop knitting it, honestly, because I really love this yarn. But I thought, you know, I probably should use this time that I have before the 12th to get as many done as I can to get in. But they already estimate that they think they have 100,000 or more hats. Like this one man alone made 100 of them. So there is a lot of them, which is great. Again, if you are not supportive of this project, totally understand, no problem. Don't feel pressured to take part in it in any way, but I also just hope that you respect that that's just how I feel. But anyway, and maybe I'll make one of this, but I don't know. This pink is just kind of boring to me. It's just meh. I don't love it. So if I run out of the rest of my Walmart purchases, I will probably use that, but that's what I've got going on. I'm also working on a pair of socks right now, which again have kind of had to take the back burner because so many, I'm trying to get as many hats done as possible. I guess this is the right side technically, but I'm not really much of a sock knitter, as you know. Hats are my favorite thing to make. I love handmade socks. I think they're beautiful. They feel great. I don't like making them. They annoy me. They're so fiddly and small. But for some reason, when I started getting into this, I really wasn't minding it. I also have a shawl on the needles that I've had to kind of put aside for now. I'm just really trying to focus on this hat project first, and then I will focus back on my other knitting projects. But that's kind of what's going on in my neck of the woods. I hope that you are all doing very well, and I will see you next time. Bye.